talk about the arts. In an interview last year with Creative Loafing, Mayor Iorio said the city of Tampa spent $17 million subsidizing arts organizations. Do you see your administration continuing this commitment, or is it a new day in Tampa government when it comes to supporting the arts? And let's begin with Bob Buckhorn.
Well, Mitch, like everything that we're going to look at, you have to look at it in terms of, is the investment producing what you would hope? To me, it's an economic decision, and if you look at the impact of the arts, they oftentimes rival professional sports. So if you're looking at the bottom line, investment in arts and arts-related activities, whether it's art-related tourism, whether it's finding ways to program our public spaces in downtown Tampa to attract Blues Fest or Jazz Fest or Cajun Fest, those are all economic opportunities, because when you create that critical mass and you create an environment where people want to come, they're going to spend money, which will attract bars and restaurants and hotels and additional residential. So I think investment in the arts is a wise investment. It's a smart investment in terms of educating our young people as to the value of the arts. And in terms of a bottom line investment, it's an investment that I can justify.
Rose, Ferlita, again, let's just re-ask the question, though. $17 million, Mayor Iorio said. Can we still do that in this tough environment, economically speaking?
Well, we have to restructure, Mitch, but that doesn't mean we lose focus. It is an important item in our city. Obviously, it's a good economic development tool up there with agriculture and tourism. And not only that, sometimes people look at the Performing Arts Center and say, oh, that's just for the rich people on the other side of the town. That is so untrue. There are so many outreach programs, so many partnerships. Tampa Prep and the Performing Arts Center are doing something that's phenomenal with their children starting a couple of weeks ago. So we need to do it. But where, again, we have to redirect. That doesn't mean we're going to take everything out of our fiber. But needs versus wants, that starts. But at the same time, for Riverwalk, for the arts, partner with the Friends of the Riverwalk. Those type of things can be done. We absolutely do not want to eliminate it. It is an important component of our community.
Dick Recco.
You're not going to spend $17 million on much of anything big anymore. There's no question about that. The arts are tremendously important. It's the second question everybody asks after schools. That's what got taken care of last time with the half-penny sales tax. You have an arts center. Anywhere you go, they ask that question. We have everything in this city that you need. You have sports, you have arts now. You did not have that. And people were asked about that all the time. Now we've got everything we need. We've got great climate. This is a wonderful place to be. We can compete with anybody. But to think you're going to see a lot of big projects from here on out, that's not going to happen. You're going to hold on with what you have. Certainly going to nurture what you have. The Riverwalk, you're going to continue that. We bought $80 million worth of parkland last time. Nobody even knows that. All over. Every piece of riverfront property. Curtis Hickson Park, where the Art Center is built, didn't belong to the city. It belonged to the railroad. We took care of that and bought it. The arts are tremendously important, but to say you're going to do some huge project today, I don't think it's in the cards.
Tom Scott.
Well, I think, again, you put everything on the table, but also I remind maybe Dick Greco that the CIT, the Community Investment Tax, continues to 2027. So there's still funding available for capital, maybe not for operation, but for capital. It's still available to 2027. So you do have opportunities there. I think that given what has happened downtown, the Avenue of the Arts and Curtis Hickson Park, the museum, the Glacier, I think that's tremendous for our down, and I think you have to continue to build upon that. You build upon that so that you can continue to grow this community, and as someone said, as an investment tool, I think it'd be tremendous. A lot of places, a lot of cities, people go to other cities and see the arts and have things to do. We want Tampa to be that way, so when tourists come here, they have something to do, a place to go, and to be involved. And so again, because you got to keep in mind, part of your tax, 25% is from tourism. And so therefore, you want the arts to continue to grow.
Ed Turanchik.
Well, I think everything's on the block. If we arts, public safety, all those things may have to have compensation or levels of reduction. Having said that, arts are vital. I don't know where all these budgets are going to fit in, particularly if the pension fund continues to have a growing liability. Bob and Tom have said that's our first obligation. Hopefully the stock market performs real well and we won't be hit so hard. I am very interested in, though, there's some young people here tonight that have been doing some incredibly cool things with historic buildings. And I would like, as mayor, I would like to have $2,000 to $4,000 little micro grants to seed cultural activities in these different buildings, make sure that the buildings work from a fire marshal perspective, because there's something very raw and vital and organic going on in our city. And I think as a mayor, you want to plant those seeds, because where an arts environment comes up from is not big government programs. It's from the people out here who are out there making a cool scene every day.
All right, thanks, Ed Tarancha. You reacted abruptly, we might say, to some colleagues on City Council and County Commission. In a cover story that we wrote back in October of 2009, you told us, "I'm intense about everything I do. I'm intense about the standards I hold myself to." But we learned in a profile written last week in the St. Petersburg Times that one of your own campaign managers left your campaign this year saying you were too intense and too irrational for his taste. Is it fair for Tampa voters to question your temperament, or is that sexist, as some have suggested?
All of the above, I guess. You know, I'm going to tell you what. When I'm working for you, I am not going to waste your time or my time entertaining. He's absolutely right. I'm very intense. I'm very passionate about what I have to do for you. And if I am going to hold myself to a standard, then so must my entire staff. So must my employees. We are going to be public servants, but at the same time, we are going to be held accountable. If someone doesn't think that they can follow the rules of the new administration, then perhaps they should not be part of the new city of Tampa under Mayor Ferlita's watch. I will tell you that, thank you. I will tell you, and we go through this all the time, and I think, Mitch, it initially started between me and you. I really keep trying to find time to smile more, but we have too many debates. After this is finished, when I welcome you into my office as your new mayor, you're going to see the biggest smile in the world, and you won't be sorry.
All right. Anybody want to say anything else, or let's move on? All right, now it's 7:30, so time is running away from us, so I'm going to try to limit these questions to 30-second responses, only because time is running away, and I want to let the audience have a chance to weigh in. So let's ask, how about this question here? This, Rose, you'll begin answering this. Now that we have a new airport director who's experienced in recruiting international flights, that's Joe Lapano, how will your administration work with TIA to ensure that our airport retains, attracts, and sustains new flights and investments internationally?
There's some figures that show how much each international flight brings us. I've been involved with the airport for a long, long time, and disclosures are disclosures, and as they should be. I have had a participation in one of the companies that's out there with the airport, and I've been amazed over the last 15 years that we've had a lease out there, how incredible it is. We want to say yes to everything, from international flights to encouraging more business at the port.
Okay,
obviously,
I'm sorry.
obviously, yes, and that was a disclosure because obviously that will be resolved when I become mayor.
I'm sorry, say that again.
In terms of my relationship out there, that will be eliminated before I become mayor. So it was kind of using your question for disclosure.
Okay, all
Thanks,
right.
Mitch.
All right, Dick Recco, TIA International Flights.
New guy's a great guy. I've already taken him to dinner when he first came to town so we get acquainted. I'm certainly helping every way. I speak 2 or 3 languages, which would be a help. I was on the Aviation Authority when we built it. I came back when we added to it. It's just one of our greatest assets. Every time you add an international flight, it brings millions to it. I'll work on that as much as I can, night and day if need be. The port is the same way.
Thank you. Tom Scott.
I think we all recognize that the airport is a great asset to this community. It's been rated the last 15, 18 years, number 1, 2 spot in the nation. And so therefore we continue to build upon that legacy. We work with the board. To try to make those international flights happen. There is a board. It's a 5-member board that you work with, and I had the privilege of serving on there for 5 years, working with that board. And so in terms of international flight, and you got to keep in mind that some international flight does not bring in revenue.
All right,
Study has proven that point.
Thank you. Ed Taranchik.
Man, I didn't know you were so old.
Oh, yeah, I am. Old and good.
I agree, you're good too. I didn't know you were there when that's very cool.
What, the Wright brothers?
Yeah, that's great.
Your time is gone.
Yeah, come on, Ed.
Seriously, we will create the Tampa Bay high-speed rail express connection between the airport and the high-speed rail terminal, and it will make Tampa International Airport a whole new destination for Walt Disney World. Because right now, everything goes through Orlando International Airport. I have been working on this stuff for a long time, and we have a huge strategic advantage now because if Disney can bring in people through TIA with a seamless connection to Disney, which they will do, they will package it, our airport has a whole new market it's never had.
And Bob Buckhorn.
Mitch, the heart of your question is how we're going to make Tampa the gateway to the Americas, and the airport is a big part of that. The port is a part of it. I intend to create the position of Director of International Trade, Commerce, and Protocol. Our international efforts have been fits and starts over the last 20 years. We've never really gotten focused on it. We've never really gotten organized. We periodically bring everybody together and we say all the right things, and then nothing ever happens. But if we are going to be the gateway to the Americas and take advantage of our cultural relationship with Latin and South America, not to mention our trading partners in Europe, we've got to get aggressive about this, and we've got to do it from the mayor's office.
Thank you, Bob Buckhorn.